Assalamu alaikum. In this video, we're gonna review all the three conditionals at the same time. Let's look at the first conditional. If I have time, I'll watch TV tonight. That's the first conditional. We use the present in the first part of the sentence, will plus the infinitive in the second part of the sentence. But what does it mean? We use it to talk about something that's true in the future or even in the present. There is a possibility that I might have some free time tonight. In this case, I will watch TV. It's very easy that this is gonna happen. Right? So we use the first conditional with situations which are true in the present or true in the future, and we use the present in the first part of the sentence, will plus the infinitive in the second part of the sentence. How about the second conditional? If I had time, I would watch TV now. But what does it mean? It means that I don't have time. This is why I'm not watching TV. And it's unlikely that I'll watch TV because I'm busy, right? So the possibility of me watching TV right now is very limited. I'm not gonna watch TV because I'm so busy. We use the second conditional to talk about situations which are untrue in the present or in the future. We use the past in the first part of the sentence, would plus the infinitive in the second part of the sentence. Finally, we have the third conditional. If I had enough time, I would have watched TV yesterday. This means that I didn't have time yesterday, and this is why I didn't watch TV. We use it to talk about situations which are untrue in the past. Okay, let's practice. Look at the sentence. What you need to do first is to decide the right conditional, and then after you decide the right conditional, you're supposed to put the verbs in the correct form. So it takes some time. I want to write my parents a letter, but I don't have time now, so I won't write them. Okay? What conditional will that be? Okay, I'll show you the answer right now. This is supposed to be the second conditional. I don't have time, so I will not write them. It's not gonna happen. So we use the second conditional. Untrue situations in the present or in the future. If I had time, I would write my parents a letter. We use the past in the first part of the sentence, would plus the infinitive in the second part of the sentence. Okay, let's continue practicing. Do the same thing, decide the right conditional. I wanted to write my parents a letter yesterday, but I didn't have enough time to do that. So what conditional will that be? And also decide the correct tenses here. Take some time to think about it. Okay, let's check the answers. That is supposed to be the third conditional because we're talking about the past. If I had time yesterday, I would have written my parents a letter. Remember to use had, not just had, because we're supposed to use the past perfect, had. How about this one? I want to write my parents a letter. I may have some time later tonight. There is a possibility that this can happen later tonight. So what conditional is that? Okay, let's check the answers. That's supposed to be the first conditional. That's true. There's a possibility that this may be true in the future. So we use the first conditional. If I have time, I will write my parents a letter. Let's continue practicing. In these sentences, what you need to do is to complete using the correct conditional. Right? You need to think first. Ask yourself, which conditional am I going to use? And then after that, you're supposed to put the verbs in the correct form. Take some time to think about it. Okay, I will show you the answers now. If you need more time, you can pause the screen. Okay, first one. You should tell your father exactly what happened. If I be you, so this is the second conditional. Because I'm not you, you're a different person than me. So we use the past here. If I were you, I would tell him the truth. That's the second conditional. Why do we use were with you, with I, even though we're supposed to use was? Because this is the rule with if in the second conditional. We use were with all the subjects, all of them in the second conditional. Number two, if I had the camera with me yesterday, we're talking about the past. So we're supposed to use the past of the past, which is the past perfect. Had, not just had. I would have taken a picture of Alex standing on his head. Would have taken. Number 3, I am ready to plant my garden. I have a lot of seeds. Maybe I have more seeds than I need. If I have, that's the first conditional. That's a possibility in the future. It can easily happen because I'm actually expecting that I have more seeds than I need. If I have more seeds than I need, I will give some to my neighbor. First conditional. Number 4, George has only 2 pairs of socks. If he had, that's the second conditional. It's an unlikely situation. He already has 2 pairs of socks. If he had more than 2 pairs of socks, he wouldn't have to wash his socks very often. Okay. Number 5, do the same thing. Read the sentences, decide if you're going to use the first, second, or third conditionals, and complete the verbs using the correct forms. I'll give you some time to think about it. Okay, let's check the answers right now. If you need more time, you can definitely pause the screen. The cowboy pulled his gun to shoot the rattlesnake. That's in the past. Pulled his gun, that's the past. So we're supposed to use the third conditional. If he had been quicker to pull his gun, the snake wouldn't have bitten him on the foot. Past. Okay. Now, this situation, that's the second conditional. Because we're asking ourselves about what life would be like if we didn't have mirrors. We already have mirrors. It's unlikely that the mirrors are going to disappear from the whole world. So it's a hypothetical situation. We're just imagining. So if you're imagining, talking about an unlikely situation, use the second conditional. So we say, what would we use? Why? Because it's a question. So you have to put the modal before the subject, not what we would use. What would we use? It's a question. What would we use to look ourselves in the mirror if we didn't have mirrors? So we use the past here in this situation. Number 7, I am not a good cook. And I'm imagining what would happen if I were a good cook. So that's the second conditional. Like I'm using my imagination. So if I were a good cook, I would make all my meals. That's just my imagination. Let's continue practicing. Take some time. Think about the sentences. Decide if they are first, second, or third, and then put them in the correct form. Okay, time for me to show you the answers. It's expensive to call someone who lives abroad. This is the fact. Now I'm using my imagination. I'm trying to imagine what life would be like if these calls were cheap. So I have to use the second conditional. If you're using your imagination, talking about unlikely situations, use the second conditional. If these calls were cheap, I would call my family every day. Number 9, the teacher was absent today, so the class was canceled. Now, what might happen tomorrow? That's the first conditional. There's a chance that she might be absent again tomorrow. So we use the first conditional. If she's absent again tomorrow, the class will be canceled again. Number 10, see, water is salty. If the oceans, I'm imagining here. I'm using my imagination. If you're using your imagination, use the second conditional. If the oceans consisted of fresh water, there would be enough water to irrigate all of the deserts in the world. Okay, that's the end of our lesson. I hope it was useful. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you so much for your time. Assalamu alaikum.